I thought I would answer a few questions, and I get a lot of questions when I'm walking around town, especially when I'm either in and out of businesses where there's a lot of people. The grocery store. The other day, I was at Safeway. Two things going on at Safeway right now. One, toilet paper is scarce, and two, the Monopoly game. If you ain't playing the Monopoly game, can you collect those Monopoly pieces and send me a message? Because I could bring home a bag of cash, and I don't think my wife would get as excited when I bring home like extra stack of Monopoly pieces. I was there the other day and I brought home, I went over and asked the lady, I said, hey, can I get some of those Monopoly pieces? Because I went through the self checkout. She grabbed a stack, handed them to me, and just smiled. And I walked out, and Nikki was like, how did you get so many? I was like, I don't know. She just smiled and gave me some Monopoly pieces. But lots of stuff going on around town. Anywhere I'm at where there's people, it seems like, Michael, hey, Underground, how's the campaign going? Michael, how's the campaign going? How's the campaign going? How's the campaign going? How's the campaign going? And I'm like, I'm just doing what I've been doing for a minute. I'm just focusing on trying to get myself elected. Like most of the videos that you've seen have been about, hey, vote for the Underground. Vote for me for the Underground. Well, I want you to know two things. One, if I don't get elected, the Underground ain't going nowhere. And two, this whole campaign thing, I'll tell you what, ask me how the campaign is going on April 8th. Because on April 8th, I'll be able to give you a truthful answer. Now, if you wanted to ask me like, well, do you think you're going to get some votes? There's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to get some votes. I'm going to get at least people who come by my house and told me they're going to vote for me. Like they stop by. Hey, we're voting for you. You know what's better than the hey, we're voting for you? Is when the lady stops by your house and your wife is giving her a t-shirt for some reason. And she tells me, I'm going to tell all my elderly clientele to vote for you. And I'm like, oh, you're going to get me elected because they be listening to you. And I'm like, oh, no. And so this is a pretty prominent business owner in town, has a lot of clients that she sees on a very regular basis. And they're all voting members of the public. And she's running around telling them, listen, you can vote for whoever, but make sure to vote for the Underground when your ballot comes. Today, I made a bet with a lady. Oh, some of you might like this. If this lady will send me a screen capture or a picture of her voting for me, I can't shave my beard for a whole freaking 4 years. I mean, I can't grow my beard out. She told me I can't grow my beard back out. She says, I'll vote for you if you don't grow that scraggly old beard out. And my wife gave her a kiss or a hug. And I was like, oh my God. And I said, okay, I'm not going to grow my beard out, but you better send me that screenshot bubbling in my name. So how the campaign is going, ask me on April 8th, and I'll tell you. Somebody asked me, and I'm going to be straight up legit with you, okay? Somebody asked me, well, what are you going to do if you get in office? If I could tell you one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. I think it's the best thing for Woodland Park. It's not the only thing I want to do. But if you were going to say, I got popcorn in my throat. My wife made popcorn. If you were going to ask me, what's one thing you're going to do, like one thing that you can guarantee you're going to try to do if you get in office, I'm going to try to get the downtown development to like dissolve and close. If we can do that legally and we can close down one of these good old boy clubs, the good old boy mafia clubs that have been taken. If I can just close down one good old boy mafia club in 4 years, I'm going to do that. If I can't do that, I'm gonna try to do other stuff. I wanna look forward to 20 years, right? I want to look forward into the 20-year future of Woodland Park and start stuff now that will affect Woodland Park 25 years from now, 20 years from now. Because that's going to be the big shit. Like that's going to be the real community changing stuff. But I think a small step in that direction is starting to shut down some of these good old boy clubs that were kind of hijacked. They started with a great purpose and a great movement. Listen, I can promise you this. Colorado is not going to be a ghost town ever. But Woodland Park could capitalize on the next 20 years of growth in Woodland Park or in Colorado by making Woodland Park an attractive place. And attractiveness has to start just like it does with us. It has to start with that confession. Hey, we're an attractive place to do business. We got a lot of things to offer businesses. But when those things get hijacked, like the DDA hijacked this TIF and tax money for themselves to pay their old club members and property taxes back and forth, it becomes not a good thing. And so we need to shut down some bad things. And if I could do one thing, like if I had to narrow it down, one thing that I think will help the future of Woodland Park is to return the downtown authority and downtown development back to the city. And there's a lot of property involved there, and there's a lot of tax money that could go towards emergency services, could go towards police, could go towards our schools. That stuff's getting hijacked and taken by these little clubs. And so if that was the one thing, some people would say it's possible. I believe it's possible, and I believe that will start to put us into a more attractive place to do business. Because that is one thing for sure. Businesses will tell you when they have to come downtown to add another organization that they have to, adhere to, bow down to, appease, whatever. If we have to add another, I don't want city to be involved in anything, but I damn sure don't want them to be involved in these shady backroom, non-elected official deals, right? Like these guys that aren't elected officials, they're appointed. And sometimes their appointments are indefinite because no one else wants to get on. No one else wants to help along this because they understand it's a mafia. You get on that DDA, you realize you're either in or you're out. You're either part of the club or you're not part of the club. And so I'd like to see that dissolve if I could do one thing. And then what's another question people ask me? Like, because they're like, what are you going to do if you become city council? I'm going to do half as good as any one of these other jokers that has been on city council. I just went back, and you can catch a few snidbits on the underground. I just went back over the last 4 or 5 years of candidate forums, and a lot of these guys were back there 6, 8, 10 years ago. So you see their faces 10 years ago, and you listen to the words that's coming out their mouth 10 years ago and the words that's coming out their mouth now, and you're like, oh. If you go 2 years, listen, it works both ways. 2 years ago, these people were praising me from their candidate forums. Hillary LaBarre, and if you've watched The Underground, me and the LaBarres don't get along. We don't get along. I am not a Pete LaBarre fan. Not really a Hillary LaBarre fan, but I had to go back and listen. And 2 years ago at a candidate forum, the clip is right on the Underground. It's taken right from the city website. It's on the record in the books, can't be taken away. Hillary LaBarre is reaching her hand towards me and saying, we have a great citizen. She's pointing at me in this meeting saying, we have a great citizen who does so much for the community on the internet, so much to do videos, to promote, and to bring just a shining light on Woodland Park. She sat there and pointed at me. Now, if you asked her what she thought about me today, her flip-flop maybe, or maybe she would say, no, Michael would be a great council member. I don't know. But I dang sure know she said that 2 years ago. And so I think there's some change happening. I think there's some changes that have been made on council that and there's more changes coming, and there's this mix happening. There's this real shakeup happening. And so it's fun to be a little bit a part of that. I'm not going to lie. It's fun to be a part of that, to see kind of the good old boys kind of they're like shuffling their feet and they're shaking. And the encouragement that I've gotten from the community has been awesome. I haven't gotten any negative feedback from anyone who's in our community. That's the honest truth. Anyone who, maybe just one person has faced me face to face and gave me negative feedback, or one person who was an actual person in the community has given me negative feedback, who's met me or something, But most of the time, I think those people are still going to vote for me. So I don't know. I've gotten a lot of positive support. And so if you ask me how the campaign's going, boom, my answer is I'll answer April 9th. If you ask me what I want to change, I want to see one thing happen in my 4 years. I want to see a lot of things happen, but one of those things that I want you to be able to come back to me in 4 years and go, by God, you did it. By God, we got it done. By God, we did this. And that's, I want to see us move in the dissolve of the DDA. I want to see those tax dollars go back to our city, and quit paying people's property crap and pocketing the lines of this. Now, we have to honor the TIF agreements we've already given. So I can't take those TIF agreements away, and I never would. That would be irresponsible. It would be stupid. There'd be no integrity in that. But moving forward, we can change. And I think the next 20 years is something that we need to start looking at, and it may take a few steps at a time, and this is one step we can do. So, all right. Thanks for joining on the Woodland Park Underground. Remember, vote the Underground Dalton, and there's a few questions answered. I was trying to think of anything else I wanted to talk about. People are asking me about different candidates and what do I think about different candidates. I don't feel like I can say much. I can't say much about the city council candidates because I don't know much about them. I have gone to great efforts to try to have conversations with these guys to learn more about them. And they just have either ignored me or denied me. Some of them have actually accepted, and I've had good conversations with people to learn a little bit more. What I can tell you, Rusty Neal, retired military, been here 2 years or so. Jim Paff, lifelong politician, will tell you he has a resume of a politician from this party, that party, working with this group, working with that group. Politician. That's all I can say. And he says it himself. So it's not, I'm not even dogging him. He's just a politician. Don Deselman, a Walmart manager, McDonald's manager, been in this community a long time. You're a working man, average working man, 61 years old. You're working guy, 61, still working. You know what I'm saying? You go get electronics, or it used to be electronics. Now he's involved in the online ordering. So he's in charge of the online ordering at Walmart, I believe. So if you order stuff online, you might run into him. Robert Zoo. I can't even say his last name. Robert Zoo. Robert with the Z. Robert Z. Karis, graduate, 2 years. There you go. There's this dude on social media, Michael the Underground Dalton. He don't even want all your votes. He just wants one. Just give him one vote. I'm out. I'm trying to touch screen my computer right there. That tells you what generation we are. It didn't work.